Hey sis, welcome back to this series. I am already enjoying this. Can I tell you that for many years, I didn't talk a lot about dating in my platforms, whether it was YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, because I am so entrenched in my work with couples through I Believe in Marriage. And plus, I've been married forever and ever. But the more I do this work, the more I lean in with women. This is a topic we have to unpack, and I absolutely am passionate about it. Again, my name is Robin May, and this series is Before You Take His Name, Dating with Discernment, particularly for Christian women 40 and older. Listen, if you're younger than 40, baby, get these lessons. Go ahead and get these lessons. You can get ahead of the game and some of the challenges that we don't want you having to deal with, right? We are doing this based on my book, Before You Take His Name, A Christian Perspective to Saying I Do. I re-released this book about a year or two ago, depending on when you're watching this. But I first wrote it 17 years ago. And when I rewrote it, the questions and the principles were still true. I just updated some of the examples, but that really helped me feel validated in this work. And so today we are moving forward with question number 2. If you haven't already, can you go ahead and subscribe to the channel? Can you let me know that you are here? I want this to be a dialogue. I will respond to all of the comments. So comment, let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what you're thinking. Invite some people to come along to listen in on this conversation. Now, what we're going to do today is deal with question number 2 from Before You Take His Name. We dealt with question number 1 last week. Did you download the PDF that I told you about? If not, you can still download it now. These are 7 signs. I think it's 7. I want to make sure that it's 7, but if not, you'll get it. These are 7 signs to know whether or not he is really having an intimate relationship with God, or if he's just religious, if he's just a church goer, or is he a Christ follower. You can grab that by going to robinmayonline.com/date, D-A-T-E. And if you want to get your hands on this book, you can go to robinmayonline.com/books. All right. So here is question number 2. Remember, there are 14 questions. This is not just for someone who is engaged. This is for women who are dating and who want to date with discernment. Whew. Here's question number 2. Have you intentionally, that's a word right now, not passively, have you intentionally and truly asked God about this relationship? Can I give you the question again? Have you intentionally and truly asked God about this relationship? Why am I leaning into those parts, intentionally and what did I say? I said it 3 times. Intentionally and truly ask God. Why do I say that? Because you know how we do. All of us, even if it's not about a relationship, we will kind of in passing ask, or it'll be flyby, or we're not actually pausing, pulling out our Bible, journaling, leaning in to be able to hear. I want to know, have you intentionally, or if you're just now meeting somebody, are you going to intentionally and truly ask God about the relationship? Have you ever been on the phone with someone and it's extremely staticky and they can't hear you, you can't hear them? Yeah, I don't know what it is about that, but that drives me crazy. And I am known for saying, you know what? Nope. Just call me back. Get somewhere where you can hear me. Well, I wonder if that's what the Lord is saying to so many of us. When we're asking him something and there's so much background noise going on in our own life, and is he saying, wait, just wait till you get somewhere where you can hear me. Y'all, this is a very sensitive topic. The person you commit to spending the rest of your life with can either make or break you. The person that you commit your life with, you'll be committed to them, even if y'all don't stay together in many ways for the rest of your life, is surely if you have children. And so this is not something to play around with. You want to invite the Lord into this with great intention. Now, like I always want to remind you, I have been married for 23 years. I understand, honey. It ain't like it was back in my day. And then my girlfriends want you to know. And then she met her husband when she was, this is what they want you to know. So let me go ahead and tell you. She met her husband when she was 18. And so she fell in love with him then. And I know that's a real reality. So I'm not interested in trying to be your dating coach. What I am interested is in helping women just like you elevate in every area of your life, including this one. I am bringing almost 2 decades of experience in helping women navigate their life. So if you think that'll help you, let's keep going. All right, so remember, question number 1 is, have you intentionally asked the Lord? But let's talk about why we don't ask God. Because the truth is, a lot of times we don't want to hear the answer, right? And if I'm fair, so one, it might be because we don't want to hear the answer. But then also, let's call this out. We're not sure if we'll hear an answer, right? You're praying and you're like, Lord, are you speaking? So either we don't want to hear it or we don't even know if God is going to speak to us in that way. But I want you to know God does care. He is concerned about all the things that concern you. Let me just pause and remind my own soul of that. He is concerned with what concerns you. Can we just stop for a moment and sit in that? I felt the Lord just then. He is concerned with what concerns you. He is concerned with what concerns me. And so surely, if we're talking about the person that you're going to become one with, surely he wants to speak to that. So we don't ask because we're not sure if he's going to speak or we're afraid he's going to say no. Or we ask in passing, Lord, if this is your will, show me. That's why I specifically ask, are you asking intentionally? Are you creating space in your life to be able to hear the Lord? Now, there are other reasons we may not be actually asking God. And this is kind of the feedback I get from my clients and from my friends. Number one, that you don't want to be by yourself. And some of you are saying, yeah, Robin, I'm dating this guy and I haven't necessarily asked the Lord if this is the person for me. Because truthfully, I know that I'm compromising, but I'm tired of being by myself. I'm tired of coming home by myself. It's not like all these people are knocking down. Am I talking about you? Am I coming down your street? I told y'all, I've been in the trenches for a long time with women. I know what these women are communicating to me is probably what you are feeling. And you're like, Robin, it's not like there's a line of guys just waiting. Let me let him go. Somebody else is going to come. And so I don't want to be alone. Or I've been in this situation for so long, the thought of starting over. I know this crazy. How many of you have said, I know this crazy. I don't know that crazy out there, but I know this. It's crazy, but at least I'm familiar with this crazy. This is crazy, but at least I know this crazy. So no, Robin, I haven't asked the Lord because I don't know what he's going to say, and I don't know that I want to start over. Or you may not have sincerely asked. Remember, the question is, have you intentionally and really asked the Lord if this is the person, or before you get serious, is this who you want me to be with? The third reason it may be, well, I've given you several reasons, but another reason might be that sometimes you are romanticizing what could be. And let me tell you what often happens, even with married couples. I have women who I have personally been on a journey with them. They've been dating someone. They can admit that they were settling, but they kept thinking about the potential of what that person could be. They ended up getting married, and now they're saying, the potential never materialized. And so you're romanticizing what could be, or watch this, maybe you've been in this for a year, or you've been in this for 2 years, or maybe 6 months, and you're chasing the high. What do I mean? You're chasing what it was and when y'all first started dating, and you're trying to get back to that, but sis, it ain't been like that for a long. Girl, you know it ain't been like that for a long time. And so you haven't intentionally asked again because you're afraid, is he going to really speak? Is God really going to speak? If he speaks, is he going to say no? I'm tired of being by myself. I don't want to have to start over. I'm romanticizing what could be. And some of y'all are saying, Robin, I don't even have nobody to ask him about. Well, baby, you're probably in a better position because at least your heart ain't tied up. At least you can think about this at the start of a new situation. Lord, don't even bring anybody in my orbit if this is not what you want from me. I dare you to pray that. So listen, a lot of times we as believers, not just you as a single woman, me as a married woman in other areas of my life, sometimes we don't really prioritize prayer the way we need to. We really don't want prayer to be just something we do in passing. We truly want it to be a communication and an intentional connection with the Lord. And so I want you to make sure, sis, that you are at least asking the Lord. If you aren't meeting, haven't met anybody right now, Lord, give me eyes to see, ears to hear, whether or not this is what you have for me. If you're in something right now and you really are saying, Robin, I don't have the courage right now, I can't muster up to even ask the Lord, admit that. Put your hand on your heart. This is what I have my clients do all the time. Put your hand on your heart and admit, Lord, I can't even, I'm afraid to even do that. I want you to hear me. If God says no, if God removes this person from your life, He's not trying to block your joy. He's trying to protect your heart. We got to trust that God is all-knowing. He sees down the street, around the corner, and up the block in ways that we don't see. And sis, I know. That's why I keep starting these conversations by saying, girl, I've been married 23 years. Because I can only imagine, not even imagine, because my friends tell me and my clients tell me it's hard for single women to hear married women who going home to their man who's going to be cuddling tonight, who has somebody to help them navigate their life. Although there are a lot of married women who are basically single, but that's a different conversation. I'll talk about that over at I Believe in Marriage. Or maybe I won't. Because on I Believe in Marriage, I deal with couple-focused things. Maybe on this channel, I'll deal more with wife-focused things. What you think? Okay. So anyway, I know it is easy for me to say that to you. But I want you to understand your area of focus might specifically be your relationship. I have my area of focus where I have to ask the Lord, God, help me because I don't have the strength, or I don't truly, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And so I want you to muster up the courage to at least admit, God, I can't even tell you that I can honestly say I have the courage to ask you the truth about the situation. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about what it means to intentionally or why we don't ask, let's talk about what it looks like to actually ask the Lord, okay? It means, number one, being, now if you ain't followed any of my other videos, you may not know, yes, sis, I have notes in front of me. I am 50, okay? So I have notes in front of me to help me guide the conversation, because if not, I will chase rainbow. I think I'm going to bring somebody on the channel to talk about attention deficit in adult women, because it's a real thing. So if I don't have notes in front of me, I'll chase butterflies and we'll be here all day. So yes, I have notes. So what does it mean? What do we mean, or what do I mean when I'm saying to intentionally ask? Well, it means being willing to surrender the outcome. You know, a lot of times when I am ministering on trusting the Lord, I think about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. That's a story in the Bible where these three Hebrew boys were thrown into a fiery furnace. You learned about this in Sunday school, and if you didn't, don't worry about it. I'll put a segment on here where I teach about it. But they were confronted by the king at the time, and the king told them, you got to worship my God, or you got to worship me. And the three Hebrew boys said no. And he said, well, I'm about to throw you into this hot furnace. And they said, listen, go ahead and throw us in there. But I'm telling you, the God we serve, he is going to save us. But then they said, even if he doesn't, he is still God. And that's what I mean right here. We must be willing to surrender the outcome. We have to be willing to hear the Lord say, okay, this is not what you need right now. Or for him to directly say no, we have to be willing to surrender the outcome, right? And what that means is just basically saying, God, I want your will more than I want my own. And that is so hard. I have some areas in my life right now, like 5 minutes ago, that I am navigating. And to be able to say, Lord, not my will, but your will be done. I cry, uncle, have your way. And that's what this means. Let me give you number 2 so I can get off of me. Let me get off of me. Number 2, what does it mean to really ask God? It means to be specific and ask God really honest questions. Not just, God, is this your will, but does this relationship honor you? Is this person aligned with your purpose for my life? Is this person pointing me, drawing me closer to you or further away? And not because you're praying so much, because he's breaking your heart. Does this person draw me closer to you or push me further away from you? Now, again, I want you, there are two different people or three different people I might be talking to right now. I might be talking to the woman that is in a serious relationship. I want you to ask the Lord these questions. I might be talking to someone who's casually dating. Now, casually dating, when I say let me clarify. When I say casually dating, I don't mean that you're being intimate with all these people, but you might go to dinner with John and go to lunch with Mark, right? And so you're not in a serious relationship, you're just dating. And so I want you to ask these questions, but then I might be talking to someone who is not dating anybody at all. Girl, take notes. These are the questions you want to be asking. So, number one, are you willing to surrender to the outcome? Number two, you want to be very specific, ask honest questions. God, shine a light on my heart in this area. And then three, it means inviting accountability. I feel like we're talking about this next week, but when you don't want somebody to challenge you about somebody, that might be a sign for you, right? You want to invite accountability. Remember, when we talked about the 7 signs of whether or not he is truly a godly man or a man who's just performing, one of the things was accountability. So you need accountability as well. You want the people in your life to give you feedback on the relationship, particularly the people who you've invited to hold you accountable in your life. And here is the last one. To really ask God, it means being still and waiting for the answer. It means being still and waiting for the answer. But that means you got to quiet the noise in your life. Remember, I said when you're on the phone with somebody and it's very staticky, you might say, listen, call me back when you get somewhere where you can be quiet. The Lord might be speaking, but you may have to get somewhere and be quiet so that you can really hear him. And sometimes his voice is peace. Sometimes his voice is a scripture. Sometimes his voice is him speaking through somebody that you trust. But I am telling you, he will give you some clarity about this relationship. All right, sis. So that is it for this part of our conversation. This is the second question I want you to ask. Have you intentionally asked God about this relationship? So a few things I want you to do. Subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I want this to be a dialogue. I'm going to respond to your comments. Share this video with somebody. Remember, this just happens to be one series. We're talking about all the things that matter to the heart of a woman right here on Robin May Online. And then if you haven't gotten the checklist, remember to go to robinmayonline.com/date, DATE, to get the checklist. And then grab your copy of Before You Take His Name. Just simply go to robinmayonline.com/books to get a copy. So what is your to-do? Number 1, subscribe. Number 2, comment. Number 3, I shouldn't give you all the, you're supposed to give one call to action, but y'all are smart. Number 1, subscribe. Repeat after me. I am going to subscribe. Number 2, I am going to get the checklist. Number 3, I am going to grab my copy of Before You Take His Name. And then number 4, I'm going to invite somebody to participate with me through this experience. All right. I will talk to you all next week.